The original PlayStation wasn't just a gaming console, it was a revolution. Launched in December 1994, it brought 3D graphics, cinematic storytelling, and unforgettable characters into millions of living rooms. For many gamers, this was their first real taste of what gaming could be: emotional, immersive, and visually stunning. It was the birth of iconic franchises, the rise of gaming superstars, and the moment when video games truly went mainstream. With over 102 million consoles sold, more than 4,000 games released, and a staggering 962 million game units sold worldwide, the original PlayStation was more than just successful, it was a gaming juggernaut. So grab your memory cards and hit that power button, because today we're diving into the top 10 best-selling games of the PlayStation. When Metal Gear Solid launched in September 1998, it didn't just raise the bar, it redefined what video games could be. With a gripping spy thriller story, stealth-based gameplay, and cinematic presentation, this Konami classic brought Hollywood flair to the PlayStation. Players were hooked by the psychological twists, memorable boss fights, we're looking at you, Psycho Menace, and voice acting that was miles ahead of its time. It wasn't just about sneaking around, it was about immersion, emotion, and narrative depth that few games had ever attempted. Selling around 7 million copies, it became a blueprint for the future of stealth games and solidified Hideo Kojima as a visionary director in the industry. Few characters defined the 90s like Lara Croft, and it all started with Tomb Raider, which launched in October 1996. With its blend of action, puzzle solving, and exploration, Core Design's breakout hit drew players into a world of ancient ruins and dangerous secrets. Lara's twin pistols and acrobatics were iconic, but it was the atmosphere and sense of adventure that really sealed the deal. Players hadn't seen anything quite like this, an Indiana Jones-style heroine navigating complex 3D spaces with style. At a time when 3D gaming was still finding its feet, Tomb Raider stood out as a bold, ambitious leap forward. It would go on to sell 7.1 million copies and turn Lara Croft into a pop culture phenomenon. The third time was definitely the charm for Naughty Dog's marsupial mascot. Released in October 1998, Crash Bandicoot Warped brought time travel, tight platforming, and over-the-top humor to the PlayStation. It refined everything fans loved about the first two games, while adding vehicles, exotic settings, and character variety. From ancient Egypt to medieval Europe, every level was packed with charm and creativity. The game also introduced Coco as a playable character and pushed graphical fidelity to impressive heights for the time. Selling about 7.1 million copies, Warped was a huge hit that showed Naughty Dog had truly mastered the formula. It was polished, fast-paced, and endlessly replayable, a classic platformer that closed out the original trilogy with a bang. After a strong debut, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back proved that lightning could strike twice for Naughty Dog. Released in November 1997, this sequel smoothed out the rough edges of the first game and introduced smarter level design, new moves like the slide and body slam, and more memorable bosses. The addition of a hub world helped streamline progression, and the controls were tighter and more responsive. With its vibrant visuals, catchy soundtrack, and quirky personality, the game built on everything fans loved while laying the groundwork for the third installment. With sales reaching 7.6 million, it was clear that Crash was more than just a one-hit wonder. He was a full-blown PlayStation icon and mascot-level contender. When Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone hit the PlayStation in November 2001, it rode the tidal wave of Pottermania. Developed by Argonaut Games, the title brought Hogwarts to life with a mix of platforming, spellcasting, and puzzle solving. It may not have pushed the PlayStation's tech to the limit, but it captured the hearts of the books and movies in a way fans adored. From learning spells like Wingardium Leviosa to sneaking through Hogwarts at night, the game gave players a chance to live out their wizarding fantasies. Selling roughly 8 million copies, it proved the power of strong licensing and that a magical story, even in pixelated form, can captivate millions of young gamers worldwide. Released in March 1998, Tekken 3 delivered lightning-fast combat, a deep roster of fighters, and incredibly smooth animations that blew minds away at the time. Namco nailed the balance between accessibility and competitive depth, making this a favorite at both home and in the arcades. The game introduced now iconic characters like Jin and Hua Reng and added fun side modes like Tekken Ball and Tekken Force. With sales of 8.3 million units, Tekken 3 became the most successful fighter on the PlayStation and one of the most revered fighting games ever made. Its influence on the genre is still felt today, and many still consider it the pinnacle of the series. Released in February 1999, Final Fantasy VIII turned heads with its futuristic art style, deep customization systems, and a focus on romance and political intrigue. Players took on the role of Squall Leonhard, a brooding mercenary caught in a story far bigger than himself. It introduced the Junction system, which allowed players to link magic to stats for deep strategy. Visually, it was a showstopper, with realistic character models and cinematic cutscenes that raised the bar once again. Selling about 8.6 million copies, it was a huge commercial success, even if it stirred debate among fans. Love it or hate it, Final Fantasy VIII showed how far the series had come, and that Square wasn't afraid to take big narrative and mechanical risks. Here's a few games that nearly cracked the top 10 worldwide.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by
The follow-up to an iconic racing game on the PlayStation didn't just meet expectations, it lapped them. Released in December 1999, Gran Turismo 2 featured over 600 vehicles and dozens of tracks, offering a massive leap in content over the original. It nailed the feel of real-world racing with its detailed driving physics and car tuning systems. You could race everything from street cars to race-modified monsters, and the sheer variety made each unlock feel rewarding. The 2-disc formats separating arcade and simulation modes ensured that there was something for everyone. With 9.4 million units sold, it solidified Polyphony Digital's place as a powerhouse of racing simulations and helped define the genre for years to come. Final Fantasy VII wasn't just a video game, it was a cultural event. Released in January 1997, it brought cinematic storytelling, stunning CGI cutscenes, and unforgettable characters like Cloud and Sephiroth to living rooms around the world. For many Western gamers, this was their first JRPG, and it opened the door to an entire genre. Materia system gave players endless ways to customize abilities, and the story's emotional turns became gaming legend. Selling 10 million copies, it catapulted the Final Fantasy franchise into global superstardom. More than just a technical marvel, it sparked lifelong fandom and inspired countless creators. Even today, its legacy lives on through remakes, spin-offs, and endless fan devotion. The PlayStation's best-selling game didn't involve monsters, guns, or fantasy. It was about cars. Gran Turismo, released in December 1997, was a revolution for racing fans. With realistic physics, lifelike car models, and a deep simulation mode, it offered a level of detail and polish that felt years ahead of its time. Casual players loved the arcade mode, while gearheads got lost in license tests and tuning garages. It was more than just a game, it was a simulator wrapped in slick presentation and real-world branding. Selling an astonishing 10.9 million copies, Gran Turismo redefined what racing games could be and launched a franchise that's still going strong today. Hey, Mike here. Thanks for watching the video. Since you've made it this far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. New videos are always getting released. If you're ready for more, check out the 2 links to sate your appetite. Until next time.